I'm going to create a new docket. There's my template. And I want to call this regex. For regular expression. Go ahead and open that up. That is not the template that I want. Let's try this guy. Regex, regular expressions. I'm going to get my basics set up over here. I want to do something that's familiar to you in the beginning. It's in the book. We're going to build a zip code regular expression. So regular expression is going to determine if the user entered a valid zip code. Now right away we know that 21532 is 5 numbers. Now, if we wanted that 4-digit extension, we would have to consider that, but we're just going to do the 5-digit number. We know that it's supposed to be 5 digits, 0 through 9. So I'm going to build it nice and slow. As I go, I'm going to output what's going on. What am I looking at so I know what I'm looking at? So print in this case, any character can be accepted, and I want to ask what is it? I want to say zip equals ABC. And now I'm going to see, does that match what I need? Escape character of a /5 dots / quote parenthesis, quote, comma, what I want to compare it to, zip, parenthesis, semicolon, So what is my regular expression set up to do right now? What's the dot mean? It could be anything. How many is my regular expression looking for? 5. So what is preg_match going to return? True or false? Should return a false. Let's see if we're right. Go ahead and run it. I'm sorry, what? Oh, thank you. So, is it returning a false? Is the 0 false? Sure it is. 0 is a false. 0 is a false. 1 is true. 0 is a false. All right. So now, right after that, don't delete it. Don't delete it. Keep it in there. Do a copy and paste, the whole thing. But modify some stuff. I want to say only 3 cares. And now I'm going to say any character can be accepted. 5 characters should return true. And I'll put A, B, C, D, E. So now, if I get everything right, refresh this, and now I'm accepting 5 characters, and it returned a true, it returned a 1. Now, can you imagine how big our regular expressions can get if we have to spell out every single pattern that we're looking for? So I want to do the exact same thing that I just did with a little bit of shorthand. I want to introduce you to a little bit of shorthand. So same thing, only down here below, I want to make this say A, B, C, D, E. And here, I'm going to introduce you to some shorthand. And it's going to go this way. It's pretty easy. Delimiter, right? Dot, meaning any character, and then that set 5 times. All right? How many times am I supposed to do it? What's the quantity that I'm supposed to do? So in this particular case, I'm simply saying A, B, C, D, E, if there are 5 characters, any 5 characters, in zip should be a true. So it's just a little, I'm introducing to you a little bit of shorthand. And it still worked. I'm going to change my output just a little bit so I know. I'm using the quantifiers. You can clean up your own code if you want. I want to take a little bit of stuff out. Once I hear all the typing subside a little bit, I want to move on. So I want to do a copy and paste again, and then a little bit of modification. So this time it's going to be accepts 5 digits only. Shorthand with the quantifier. I better make sure this is a number, 21502. Now, the dot specifies any character. If I want it to be numbers and checking only for numbers, I have to insert a character set. What is the character set for numbers? You don't have to worry about how to put it in yet. Just what's the character set for numbers? 0 through 9. So all I need to do is where this dot is, I need to specify what my character set is, and then the 5 after it remains in place and says any 5 numbers is what happens. So it's square brackets 0 through 9. Square brackets. By the way, what would happen if I put square bracket 0 through 5? It would only allow my pattern match numbers 0 through 5. If I put a 6, 7, 8, or 9 in, it would return a false. Okay? And you can play with that. You can try it out. So that should be a true the way that it is. Refresh. Parse error. Oh no. What happened? That was quite unexpected. Where am I at? Oh, I hit a key. Thank you. I truly wasn't looking up there. I thought it was someplace else. That time it actually told me the truth, huh? Hey, look at that. Accepts 5 digits only, shorthand with a quantifier. Gee, this regular expression stuff, not so bad after all, is it? Miguel, do you need it on your computer?
Oh, yeah. I mean, who's going to turn on that?
What's that? Don't worry, I'll put it back up. Calm down. Hold your horses. Yep. I'll make the video available as I usually do. Okay. So there we have it. We have a zip code. It only accepts numbers. Cool. Let's build something more complex. So we're going to build a Social Security number validator that it allows dashes eventually. We're not going to start with that. So eventually we want to allow the user to put in their Social Security. Nobody tell anybody my Social Security number. That allows dashes in it, right? 123-456-7. I'm sorry, 45-6789. Now we can see that we have some special literals here that we'll have to take in consideration of the dash. And then this is 3 numbers. And this is 2 numbers. And this is 4 numbers. So total we have 9. Let's start there. Let's start with validating just simply 9 digits. Do we already have a mechanism to quickly validate 9 digits? Do I have something in place and built? What? The zip code, right? The zip code. It's already built to handle 5 digits. So let's copy and paste and adjust. Don't use zip anymore, use SSN. And adjust it to accept 9 digits. We start there. We're confident enough that we can write a script that does that. Quote, / delimiter, I'm starting everything. Character set 0 through 9. End character set, repeat 9 times. End my expression with my delimiter and compare that to Social Security. When I learned to code, I literally talked to myself as I coded stuff. And if I was around my buddies, I usually didn't do that because it was distracting to them. But I would say it as I did it out loud, trying to explain to myself what I was doing. Maybe that works for you. Maybe it doesn't. But it worked well for me. I did a lot of copying of code when I learned to code. Why would I try to come up with my own if I can copy somebody else's to learn what I want to do, then figure out what I want to do on my own? Right? So I would always copy it out of the book. Not telling you to copy your friend's code, to be clear. So whenever I run this, does it work? Would help if I printed it off, right? Didn't print the result. Yep, it works. Now we're going to chunk this thing apart. I'm going to say I want 0 through 9, and I want 3 of those. And that's the first thing that I want to concentrate on. Notice how I'm putting parentheses. Let's focus on that. After that, I want the literal dash. And if you look in those tables that they provide you, to specify that the following character is something, we put a backslash in. So I want to put, the next part of this puzzle is, so parentheses, here's the next part of my puzzle, backslash dash. Now it starts making sense. So I got this piece of the puzzle, that piece of the puzzle, now that. Well, I'm just going to repeat over here. I want to say I want a character set of numbers, and I only want 2 of them. I want another backslash. I'm sorry, another dash. So backslash dash. And then the last piece of my puzzle is 4 numbers. And now I've chunked up my pattern, and it should work. The only thing that I've done different, as opposed to the zip code or just 9 digits for Social Security, is I broke it up using parentheses. I put parentheses around the different parts of the pattern that make sense to me. So let's try it out. I am going to do a copy and paste, but I got to modify accordingly. Put it without up here. This accepts a Social Security number with dashes. Woohoo! So 1, 2, 3, dash 4, 5, dash 6, 7, 8, 9. I hope I fail at this, because you need to understand that you don't always get it right, no matter how long you've been doing this. So the first part of my chunk is I want 0 through 9, and I want 3 of those. Then the next part is I put the backslash in, saying that the next character had always better be a dash. If it's anything else, it fails. And then it becomes repetitive. I need a character set 0 through 9. I only want 2 there. Next thing is I want another dash. And then finally, I want a character set 0 through 9, and I need 4 of those. Now in mine, I've already noticed I have an error. Right here, I forgot this first part of how I broke it up with my parentheses at an opening, and I was missing the ending right there. So I'm going back over and making sure that whatever I open, I close. All right. I think I'm ready. All right, cool. It worked. Now I'm going to mess around with it. What if I put an A in there? It should fail. Yeah, it did. What if I put an extra digit in there? Ooh, it allowed it. Why did it allow it? I need to figure out why it allowed it. What if instead of a dash, bless you, what if instead of a dash I put a comma? It failed. Good. Now it's accepting it again. What questions do you have right now? What's that? And you scroll up. Like that? Is that what you want? Is that good? Yeah.
So for reinforcement exercise, the fifth one,
Yeah.
it talks about that you need 5 or 6 different regular expressions, or like the preg match, the regular expression. Okay.
Yep.
Alright, that's fine.
Instead of saying preg match, say p-reg match. If you do that, that'll get it straight, and then you can call it. You can still call it preg match, because I do. But remember, regular expression.
Okay.
So the last challenge that I throw out to you to see if you can figure out why I'm here is validate a Maryland driver's license. Now remember, a Maryland driver's license is a character followed by a dash, followed by 3 numbers, followed by a dash, followed by 3 numbers, followed by a dash, followed by 3 numbers, and I think that's it. 4 sets of 3 numbers. You can knock it out. I have confidence. The question is this. A letter is what character set? A to Z. But there's 2 A to Z character sets. There's a lower and an uppercase. So if you want to allow either, you put both in. But if you want to be very strict, which you should be as strict as you can be, right? The higher the quality control of you up front and allowing information into our database. Oh my, I keep talking about this data integrity and everything. The higher of a quality check you put on up front, the less headaches you're going to have later on down the road. The better you plan now, the better off you're going to be later. You can talk to your neighbors about it, but this is how, for those reinforcement exercises, this is how you want to go about all of that stuff that you're supposed to do when you get to those reinforcement exercises. You need to build those up slowly. And if you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about, reinforcement exercises and regular expressions, oh my, are you in for a shock tomorrow night at about, what, 10 o'clock when you first start these? Is that enough of a hint to start tonight? You almost done?
Yeah.
That's what I
Except it's the last one on
That's a smart woman there, working ahead. It's a piece of cake when you work a little bit at a time. Did this help clarify some stuff for you?
Yeah. I'll be finished the last one tonight.
Cool. Now, if you want, you could take all of your regular expressions that you're going to make and combine them all into one. And some people try to do that. If you want, you can. But you're not good enough at regular expressions, and it might get messy. So if you do it, if you attempt it, make a copy of your file so you're not scrambling at the last second, right? So you have it done. Go ahead, but if you want to experiment and combine it all into one, that's fine. Just do it on a separate document. Again, regular expressions are one of those things. It's not like riding a bike, unfortunately. Every time you do them, unless that is your job, you'll have to go back to relearning how they work, and they're not that bad once you kind of get going with them. And they can be a lifesaver. You use them all the time. Every single time you do a search in Word, that is a dynamic regular expression being built. Isn't that kind of cool? Every time you do Control F on any document, it's a dynamic regular expression being built. It says in the book that that's the case. It didn't seem to be working. Oh, that failed. Good.